Hello everybody, it's Masai here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a contract processing workflow. So basically it is a workflow where you can upload a very poorly written contract and have AI rewrite the contract given specific criteria so that you can have a much better contract done written in less than a minute or two. My goal is to build this entire thing out in less than 15 minutes so I can upload this video to LinkedIn. I'm going to be building this out using N8N with a completely local setup. So I'm going to have a local language model downloaded and use that so that, again, if you have any confidential information in your contracts, you don't have to send it off to any cloud provider and you can still get the benefits of working with AI. So we're going to use Airtable to store our documents. We're going to use N8N to build our agent out. And then we are going to use our local language model that I downloaded onto my computer that I showed you how to download actually in one of my previous videos. If you haven't seen that, you can go check that out. And that's pretty much it. So let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to start off by going to airtable.com. We're going to choose start from scratch. So select start from scratch, and then we're going to call this base. We are going to call this base passive, let's say fixed contracts. And then we can just get rid of all of these fields, just delete all these fields, delete, and that's fine, delete and delete. And then we're going to change the first fields from a name field to an auto number field. This is just going to help us keep track of which workflow is running or which contract is being processed, and we're just going to name it job ID. So this will give a unique ID to every job that goes through. Obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, and every single job that goes through will have a unique ID. Then after that, we're going to want a section where we can upload the bad contracts. It's going to be in an attachment field. We're going to select attachment, and we can name this bad contract. Create field. Then we're going to add a start field. This is going to be a single select field. Single select. We're going to add an option here. It's going to be start. And I like to make these green. We'll call it first start. Create this field, bad contract, and then once our contract gets processed, we're going to need a field to hold our good contract. It's going to be another attachment field. It's going to be good contract, and this is going to be a .text file. I'm going to be running this with a local setup, so this is hosted on my local machine, again, to keep everything private. If you don't know how to set up N8N locally, you can check out a previous video I have that shows you how to set up N8N locally, and also how to download a language model so that you can use that language model for workflows. But once you have N8N downloaded locally, all you have to do is go to localhost, and it's going to be on port 5678. We're going to create a new workflow. We're going to call this one fix contracts YouTube demo. We need to connect to Airtable, and we're going to do that with an Airtable node. We are going to choose a trigger on an Airtable event, on a new Airtable event, and then I'm going to show you guys how you can connect your Airtable account to N8N. So I'm going to create a new credential. I'm going to call this YouTube demo, and we're going to select access token here. So we're going to go access token, and then we're going to go over to Airtable, and I'm going to show you guys how you can connect your Airtable account to your N8N account. So we're here in Airtable. You're just going to go into the top right where you see the letter for your profile name. Click on that letter and then go to Builder Hub. And then once you're in Builder Hub, you're just going to go to the developer section, and you're going to go to personal access tokens. Then we're going to create a new token. We're going to call this contracts YouTube demo, and then we're going to add all of the scopes to this token. This is just going to allow the token to be able to do everything we need it to do. Then once we've added all the scopes, we are going to determine what base this token has access to. So we're going to click add a base, and we're going to click our most recent base, which is fixed contracts, and then we're going to create a token. Once you have the token created, you're going to want to save it somewhere safe so that you can use it later. So once you saved it, you can click done, and we're going to go back over to N8N, and we're going to paste our access token into this access token section. We're going to click save. And the good thing is our connection will be tested. We can see it's successfully tested, which means we are connected to our Airtable accounts. Now we're going to want to grab the ID of the base and the ID of the table and plug those in here so we can connect our table into our N8N instance. We are going to grab the base ID, which is everything from app all the way until the first // You want to copy that. You want to paste that into the base ID. And then for the table ID, it is going to be everything after table until the next /. So we're going to copy that. We're going to paste that in here. And then we need a trigger field. So if I hover over this, I can see that in order for this to run, I need a created time or last modified time field. So let's go and add that now to our Airtable database. So what we're going to do here is we are going to add a trigger field. We're going to search last modified time, and then we're going to call this trigger field. We're going to create that field, and then once that field is created, we can just copy the name of the field and then head back over to N8N, paste that into our trigger field section. We want to turn this on, and we want to download the attachments here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a really bad contract, and then I'll upload it to Airtable. So I used some PDFs from Mark Cohen and Duke McDonald. Basically, these PDFs detail how to write a really bad contract. We use 2 PDFs here, and I just fed these PDFs to ChatGPT, and I had ChatGPT write me the worst possible contract that it could write. And right here in this PDF, I have worst _ possible _ contract. So this is a very bad contract. There's a lot of passive voice in this contract. There's a lot of legalese in this contract as well. It's just it's a very poorly written contract. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this terrible contract, we're going to download it, and then we're going to head over to our Airtable, and we're going to upload our bad contract into the first field. So we'll grab this worst possible contract, upload it. So now we've uploaded this contract into our bad contract section. We're going to copy the name of the bad contract section. We're going to go over to N8N, and we're going to paste that into the download field section. So that's going to tell N8N to download the contract that is in this field into our N8N instance so we can then work with it. So I fetch a test event. We can see that here I have my terrible contract in my N8N instance. So once we have this, what we need to do is we need to extract the text out of this so we can then feed it into an AI agent that can write a better contract. So in order to do that, we are going to choose and extract from file node, extract from PDF, and then we want to make sure that this input binary field here matches the input binary field here. So we can just copy this, paste it in here. We can test this step, and we can see that we have extracted all of the text from this contract. So this entire contract has all the text extracted. We can feed this text into an AI agent and use our local language model to write a much better contract very quickly. So I'm going to go here, grab an AI agent. We are going to change the source for prompt of the user message. We're going to change that to define below. And we are going to drag the text from the previous section into our user message. Then from there, we are going to add a system message to basically give this AI agent the criteria that it needs to use to write a much better contract based on the contract that has been given. So I'm going to take both of these documents. I'm going to take the 10 worst faults in drafting contracts from Duke McDonald. I'm going to take how to draft a bad contract from Mark Cohen, and I'm going to feed both of those to ChatGPT and have ChatGPT write me a prompt for a language model that can correct bad contracts. I'm just going to go into ChatGPT. I'm going to download both of these, how to draft a bad contract and the 10 worst faults in drafting contracts. Once I have both of these downloaded, I'm just going to upload them both into ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write me a prompt based on these documents. Please write me a prompt for a legal assistant AI agent that can correct poorly written contracts into well-written contracts. And then I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to include role prompting, basically telling the agent what role it needs to play. A few shot examples, which are just examples. Few shot examples, task, which lets it know exactly what it needs to do, and specifics, which is kind of like miscellaneous notes in the prompt. So I'm going to have ChatGPT write me that prompt. Right, so we've had ChatGPT read these documents and then write us a prompt for our legal assistant. We have the role here. We have the primary task, the guiding principles, some few shot examples as well, and the output format. Actually, what I want to do as well is I want this prompt to be rewritten so that the agent only outputs the contract and nothing else. Please write this prompt so that the agent only outputs the contract and nothing else. So now this prompt should do a much better job of getting our agent to only output the written contract text and nothing else. So I'm just going to take this prompt, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to go back into N8N, and then I'm going to replace the system message with the prompt I have just gotten from ChatGPT. Now I'm going to connect my local language model into my N8N, into this AI agent, so that we can use our local language model from Olama to actually be able to write this contract. So we can see here we've grabbed the PDF, we have extracted the text from this PDF, and then we are going to run this AI agent. So we can see our agent has run, and it should output now a much better contract than the one that was input. So we have our output here. This is our corrected contract. And now the most difficult part of this is not actually having the contract corrected. It is formatting the output from the AI agent and sending it back to Airtable, which I'm going to show you how to do now. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to turn this output into a .text file. So we're going to choose convert to file. We're going to convert to a text file, and then we are going to drag this output field into the text input field, and we're going to hit test step, and then we can see here that we have our contract here as a text file, and then we have to get this text file uploaded to Airtable. We're going to convert this file into a base64 string, and we're going to send that base64 string off to Airtable. So in order to do that, we're going to, I think I should be able to type in base64, convert binary data to JSON. So we're going to move this file to a base64 string. And again, if I run this, I can see this is the base64 string. It's basically the encoding of this file, of this text file, that we can then use to send this. We can then use to send this file off to Airtable. So once we have, I actually want to change the name of this. Convert to base 64. Once we have converted this to base 64, then we can send this off to Airtable using an HTTP post request. So we're going to grab an HTTP request. We're going to click post, and then I'm going to show you where you can find the documentation to actually create this post request. To find this documentation, you're going to want to go to airtable.com/developers/web/API/upload-attachment. And this will show you the endpoint that you need, or the address that you need to use in order to upload a file from your N8N instance into Airtable. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this URL, we're going to paste it into this URL section, and then what we're going to have to do is fill in all these fields. So we need our base ID, we need our record ID, we need our attachment field ID, and we need, that's pretty much it. So we need our base ID, our record ID, and our attachment field ID. So our base ID, again, if you remember, it's just this section here where it says app. We're just going to grab that, copy that, and paste that exactly where the base ID was. Then for the record ID, because this is going to be changing every time, we want to go back to our Airtable trigger step. We want to open that up, and then we want to grab the ID from this step and input that in the record ID section. So I'm just going to delete the record ID, and then I'm going to insert our record ID variable into that section. And then for the attachment field or name, I'm going to show you where you can find that as well. So in order to find the ID of your field, you're going to want to go to airtable.com/developers/web/API/introduction. And when you get there, you are going to scroll down to your most recent table. I'm going to click on the table that I'm using, open that table up, and then from here you can find the IDs for all of the different fields in your table. So we need to upload our text file into the good contract text field. And so we can see that the ID for that field is found right here in this second column. I can just copy that, go back to N8N, and then I can delete this variable and paste in my upload field ID. So once I have all of that, now my URL is properly configured, and I can move on to actually uploading the file to this URL. So we're going to add authorization now. You want to ignore this send query parameter section, and you want to go straight to the send header section. You want to turn this on, and then for the name of the header parameter, you want to put authorization, and then you want to input bearer, B-E-A-R-E-R, and a space. We're going to paste the same personal access token that we used before to connect Airtable to our N8N instance into this field. So bearer, space, and then our personal access token, which we are going to grab from the place that we stored it. So once you have that, you can paste it in. We have our access token in. Then we are going to send the body. So you want to check this. Send the body. The body content type is going to be raw. The content type is going to be application/JSON. And then the body, you want to open the expression field. You want to have 2 brackets. Then you want to open this up. So you just want to input everything exactly as I input it. You want to input content, capital T, type. Then you want to put in a colon, and then you want to put in quotation marks, and you're going to put text/plain. You're going to put a comma here. We have this comma here. We're going to add another quotation mark, and then we're going to input file. So file, again, colon, and here we are going to grab the base 64 encoding of our text file, and we are going to drag that in between the quotation marks here. Then we can add a comma, a quotation mark, double quotation mark again, and this one is going to be called file name, and then we're going to give this file the name of good
contract. Okay, that should do it. So once we have everything in here, now we should be able to test this step and upload our file into Airtable. When we see it's been successful, we can go back into our Airtable and we can see that we have uploaded our contract. Okay, so this is the text uploaded now. So we have our good contract uploaded here. Our contract, the wording has been simplified. The contract has been rewritten. And I'm going to show you a demonstration of how this will look now that we've already finished building this out, and we can see that as well. Okay, so once we have this flow working, we can save this, and then we are going to switch it on by turning this to active. I'm going to click got it, and then I can go back into my Airtable. I can delete this record just to show you guys how this would look in practice. I can upload the world's worst ever contract into this Airtable, upload the worst possible contract, click upload, and then now that this has been uploaded, then my workflow should pull once every minute, and it should go and grab this and execute, and then it will return back a good contract in the good contract field. Now if I go to executions, I can see that this is running automatically, and then I should have my good contract showing up in Airtable in a few seconds. Okay, and so we can see a few seconds have passed. We have our good contract showing up here again. As always, if you are a solo attorney and you need help building workflows like these, or you're interested in figuring out how you can use AI in your practice to start saving yourself a lot of money and a lot of time, there's a link in the description below. You can click on that, you can get more information there. Please don't be alarmed at all. It's a video of me trying to tell you something, so that's there if you want it. That's pretty much everything for this video. It's a very simple use case. It's what we call a simple, easy win, a SU, a simple, easy win that you can get with AI to do something very practical and also to keep your data, your information secure. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Also, drop any comments as well, letting me know what other types of builds, automations you want me to build, or what other things that you think potentially should be or could be automated in your firms. And then also subscribe as well, turn on post notifications. That way you won't miss any of these builds that come out. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Have an amazing day.